Welcome back to another video of Seattle Organic SEO's tips for search engine optimization. Today we're going to talk about what SEO is not. I think there's a perception that search engine optimization actually applies to more than it actually does. Now, does that mean search engine optimization consultants or people who are experts in SEO cannot do the other components? No, but it is something kind of important when you actually engage with an SEO or somebody who is trying to help you with that specific element, which is actually quite large as far as what it encompasses. And so, frankly, when you ask someone to help you with your SEO, please note that you're actually not wanting to ask them to do these things, okay? So that's something that I wanted to help you. I mean, I'm all about being positive, and I'm all about being very, very comprehensive and everything, but at the same time, it's kind of like asking your doctor to be your dentist, which obviously he or she cannot do in a very, very strong way. You will want that doctor to take care of you as far as the aspects that he or she is very good at, but not necessarily your teeth, right? All right, so let's start off. So the first thing that I wanted to share real quick is SEO is not paid search. So what the heck is paid versus organic, right? So there's a reason why we call ourselves Seattle Organic SEO. It's because we focus on the organic components of every search engine results page or search engine result. So when you actually Google something, for example, let's say I want to find an auto dealer near me, right? Or a car dealer, which is probably more intuitive. So car dealer near me. Well, let's just do car dealerships. Who cares? The thing that shows up is typically, or rather can show up on a regular basis, are ads, especially if there's commercial intent. Now, below that is a local pack, and this local pack is completely different, and also another division within Google that is separate from this, which is the set of organic results. So SEO typically can affect this and this, all right? SEO does not do this. You will want somebody who's an expert at PPC. Now, fortunately, we at Seattle Organic SEO and our future agency, PPC Converters, are experts at this pay-per-click advertising. So when you have people who are actually good at this, honestly, you can have them manage this, not this, or even this and this. So please know there are paid ads in every search engine results page, and then there's the rest, which is organic for the most part, but there's also other components that we'll talk about here today. All right, so that's the first thing. SEO, basically search engine optimization that's organic, is not paid search. Second, let's jump into the other form of paid search, which is other PPC networks. Now, when we think about search, we obviously think about Google, but there's also Bing, right? And so let's actually bring up Bing and then see what kind of happens with the same search. So car dealerships, right? Their suggestions are interesting. It's ads near me. Well, anyway, you can see right in this little tiny section or tiny part of the listing, it says ad, just like it does a little bit more prominently on Google. But here's an ad, here's an ad, and here's an ad. So these are paid versions or another PPC network or another pay-per-click network. So you can actually advertise on Bing, you can advertise on Google. And why would you actually do Bing? Well, it's because it's 25% of all searches in the United States. It might not have the ubiquity that perhaps Google has across all nations, but it does have a significant amount of presence in the United States. And so I would argue that you should consider it. Honestly, I could tell you some more secrets, but you'd want to engage with us and help you understand that there's actually a lot of gold here in Bing that people don't even realize. All right, so that's another PPC network. Another very prominent network, and it's probably the most prominent after Google, is this. Come on, internet. There it is, the new Facebook. Yeah, I don't know why they actually decided to change the whole interface. I think it's actually horrible. But I'll be honest, we should actually at least consider it, because when you go through the search results, look at this. Let's see. Let's look. Hoo-hoo! SafeGraph sponsor. There's an ad. So if you click on this, it's a paid per click ad. There's definitely lots of different forms of advertising within PPC, but I will tell you there are definitely plenty of opportunities when it comes to Facebook and PPC, pay-per-click advertising. So that is something to consider. That is something that I would argue is another version of basically non-SEO and stuff that you should actually work on. Now, do we do it? Yes, we do all forms of pay-per-click. There's even Quora. If you actually go through Quora, you should hopefully see, well, not hopefully, you will potentially see ads that will sit right inside these organic results. Let's see if anything pops up. It looks like within my feed, not so much. But at some point, there could be some ad that sits right inside of here. Also, Reddit. Reddit also has a form of PPC. I can't say here. Let's see. Maybe right here. So that's an ad, I would argue. And if not, that's a version of something that could be. Here it is. Promote it. So Reddit also has advertising. So does Pinterest. So there are a lot of different pay-per-click networks out there. Sorry, this is into our actual platform, our back end of analytics. But inside here are plenty of results that, frankly, could be paid. And so this is another PPC network, and that is paid, or PPC networks versus what SEO. So again, that's not SEO. The next thing is social media. So we already talked about the paid version of social media in terms of Facebook. There's also Instagram, which obviously is very, very well known for all those people who like the ephemeral and something very, very simple and quick. There is actually both organic and there are paid versions of advertising leveraging both of these platforms. There's influencer marketing as well, which is again not SEO. And so those kind of elements are things that you might need somebody who's a little bit better at those different types of frankly marketing initiatives, and those are things that are completely separate. So I mean, it's tough. I understand that there are so many different channels that you need to actually exercise, or there are so many channels that you could be doing, but note, you should just attack them one at a time, and then at some point maybe there's a chance that one will catch on fire, and then you just keep on doing it. But what I would recommend is actually just trying a lot of them so that you can see what seems to resonate with your business. All right, but social media like Instagram, there's also Pinterest could be argued, even though it has the paid network, and we already talked about Facebook, along with all these other, Snapchat, that's another form of social media, and just literally every form of social media that exists out there. There's optimization on the organic side, which is different from search engine optimization versus social media, basically, marketing. All right. So another thing that is not SEO. But one thing I will tell you is that social media, though, does contribute to SEO. So I will not dispute that SEO can be impacted by the social media optimization or the social media efforts that you make on the side, because in all honesty, social media has the links, it has basically the signals, and it has a lot of different things that, basically Google is reading and understanding that the signals are out there for certain brands or basically businesses or anything that is applicable to your website. All right. Next, affiliate marketing. So I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the reasons why this company has done so well is because they have one of the best affiliate marketing programs probably in the entire world. Now, what is it? So what you need to do is you need to actually search for associates, I believe, or they might have labeled it something else. Because, frankly, that was an older term that we actually used a long time ago. One thing I can do really quickly is go Amazon affiliate program, and then let's see what shows up. Because in all honesty, they could have rebranded. Yeah, they call it still associates. So if you do search for Amazon associates or Amazon affiliate program, you should see this. Well, this gives you a chance on your site, that would be a separate site, to send Amazon opportunities to convert. And so let's say you're a company that would like a bunch of soldiers out there to help you indirectly or even directly to a considerable extent. And they are out there incentivized by something that you have told them as far as the carrot is concerned, that you will pay them like $50 a transaction. I mean, think about it. Let's say if you're a realtor, you would probably incentivize somebody by giving them a referral fee. Or you would incentivize somebody by giving them some sort of, bonus for bringing you a lead or bringing you a potential customer. So that's the same thing as affiliate marketing, except the difference is it's a different website, and then that website links to your website so that you basically send over a visitor from their website to yours. So if you are an affiliate, you might create something like content that might be very interesting. Let's say a sports website or a fashion website. And then while people are going through there, they might find something that maybe could be commercially viable, or rather something that you might want to buy, and then you just link it over to Amazon, and then Amazon pays you for every customer that transacts. Make sense? Well, we can get into affiliate marketing more. I used to do affiliate marketing significantly when I was at Expedia. I was actually co-head of that program with this gal who is currently, I think, head of international marketing at Expedia now. But we used to go around the country and actually interview vendors and figure out technically and also just business-wise who would be the best partner to help us get more and more traffic and also conversions in the travel space. So it's actually very powerful. I know that Expedia has benefited from it a lot, and so has Amazon. Amazon definitely the most. So that's not SEO, but again, it does affect SEO. Why? Because there's links. There's links from those other sites to yours, and so if you do actually build an affiliate program, there is a chance it could contribute to your SEO. The next thing, CRO. What the heck is CRO? There are so many acronyms in this field. SEM, which is another name for basically paid search engine marketing, which actually stands for search engine marketing, but it is actually more representative of the paid side. But what is CRO? So CRO is actually conversion rate optimization. So when you are on a page, the goal for this site is to get you to click, right? And buy. Well, if you fail to actually have a page that gets you to a place where you can click and it's really hard to find, or trying to find anything on the page, well, you failed on conversion rate optimization. So there's arguments that you can design a page, and there's a field called UX, or user experience, that truly optimizes, or you can truly optimize it so that users are enjoying that surfing experience so much that they can actually click a lot easier or more easily into the transaction funnels or down the funnel, as far as what Amazon basically wants you to do. So they're going to do things on this page, like for example, this shop now, well, maybe it should be more prominent so that I see it, right? Or maybe there's a certain part of this. One thing that I can just tell you straight up in terms of tips today is that, frankly, CRO depends quite a bit on this one concept, and that is the F pattern. Do you know what the F pattern is? Well, the F pattern is how you read. Let's think about it. Well, you start on the left and you read to the right. You come back down and then you read to the right. You come back down and you read to the right. So down here is the worst part of the website or web page to put anything. So this deal of the day, bad placement. You want it right here in the high Brandon, right? You want it in the section over here because that's where people are going to first look. Why? Because they've been trained to do that. All right, and so that's CRO. Now, is CRO completely different from SEO? Not necessarily. One argument could be made that you need to do CRO in order to improve engagement on your page. Because why? Guess what Google does? Google tracks the behavior of anybody going to their search. So, for example, here, let's say I was wanting flights to Hawaii. Well, they're going to actually go here, watch and pay attention with your cookie and all this other stuff, and they're going to see if you're interacting, all right? And so if Expedia fails to actually keep me on this page, or if I'm not sticky, as they sometimes like to call it, or if I'm not enjoying this experience, there's a high probability they will downvote my website or my web page in this particular SERP or search engine results page. So it's important that I design this. I mean, in all honesty, when I was at Expedia, we spent just meeting after meeting after meeting on small little tiny widgets or small little aspects of the page. Why? Because it was that important. All right. And so having this, website or the web page being designed perfectly for CRO is actually something that can help SEO. But again, it's not exactly SEO. Another concept. Let's just switch the S and the CRO or the C and R with AS. All right. And let's call it ASO. Well, what's ASO? Interesting. Well, guess what? What's a big search engine these days that's not really a search engine? You got it. App Store. Or with basically Google and all the other types of non-Apple products, they have to go through the Android store. So here with the App Store, let's click through to it. And I'm not sure if we can search it here, but showing up high within the search results of an App Store can help you, right? But it's not SEO. It's different. They have completely different variables that while they adopt a lot of the things that Google has actually implemented within their search engines, they don't do the same. They're bitter enemies if you haven't figured that one out yet. And so they're not sharing best practices. They might be copying one another, but frankly, Apple would want to copy Google because they're better at the search engine optimization or the search engine algorithm process. So frankly, you could actually optimize your app to show up higher within literally the App Store. And same thing with the Android store, which we will not get into. But that's different. ASO is completely different, but it could be just as valuable, if not more valuable than SEO, as basically the future continues to do more apps, or at least apps start to become more ubiquitous, and something that probably Jeff Bezos and his team is paying attention to. And lastly, SEO versus anything that's O, which I mean is optimize. You can optimize your taxes. You can optimize your health. You can optimize almost anything that exists. So make sure you pay attention to the S and the E, because it means search engine optimization. There are so many things that you can optimize, and there's so many practices that you should consider as far as improving. But hey, don't come to your SEO to ask them to organize your room, or don't ask an SEO to necessarily help you, improve your taxes, because they will not be able to do that. And so I say this because I've been asked so many different things for so many, aspects of digital marketing. While I'm very good at most of them, I can't say I'm as good as somebody who is spending all their time in each of those different fields. All right. So I hope that helps. Hope this wasn't so, negative. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to be very clear as far as what SEO truly involves. And here are some subjects that you will now know are not in the domain of an SEO, but could be if you have a really incredible one. And speaking of, there are two agencies I would highly recommend. That obviously is one is our Seattle Organic SEO, and also our partner agency, Clarity Online. So do consider us as an option to help you with your SEO and or your PPC advertising, because we believe we're pretty dang good at that. We've helped a local company, just as one example, literally rise to become the number one, company in this particular arena. I can't tell you what kind of business because we don't want to divulge that specific sector, because unfortunately we can't help anybody else in that particular region, but we will be happy to do it in other regions. So just, contact us if you have any needs out there. We'll probably be able to tell you whether or not we can do it or not. And that's the other thing that we're really good at, is just telling you straight up what your situation is and whether or not it even makes sense to work with us. Okay, this wasn't for commercial purposes. This is actually to help you understand what we don't do, or what basically SEOs don't do, and also to understand that you need to actually focus on different channels or different aspects of digital marketing, and there are a lot of them, not just SEO. Even though, I will be honest, SEO represents typically the largest section or largest amount of traffic for any site. It's either direct or it's SEO. Those are the two most prominent sources for any website these days. And so it is important, honestly, to get your SEO pinned down. But again, these are not SEO. We'll talk about the rest as far as strategies for SEO moving forward, but we did want to clarify this before moving into those topics. All right, thanks for listening again, and hope this wasn't too long of a rant, and we'll speak to you soon here on Seattle Organic SEO's YouTube channel.